Prince William did offer a promising update on Kate and her possible return to full-time royal work next year. He told UK's The Times in a profile published on November 10th, "I think hopefully Catherine will be doing a bit more next year, so we'll have some more trips maybe lined up." As for events including all three of the children as well, those possible outings are still up in the air. He said family-wise, you have to wait a little bit longer because obviously they're at school, and I think that takes priority over above everything else. The Prince of Wales sat down for a rare, candid interview at the end of his recent high-profile trip to South Africa for his Earthshot Prize Awards, which of course was held last week. Now, he did admit to The Times that 2024 has been the most dreadful year of his life, referring specifically to the respective and unspecified cancer diagnosis of his father, King Charles, and of course his wife, Kate. He said, "It's probably been the hardest year in my life, so trying to get through everything else and keep everything on track has been really difficult." He noted that he is proud of his wife and father for overcoming their health challenges, and he said it's been brutal. I mean, he was very candid, very honest about, obviously this has been a very, very trying year in so many different aspects for him, but I mean, he said it was, the hardest year of his life, and he's had some pretty tough years behind him.
I think, yeah, in recent years, if we think back to, the loss of his mother, he's gone through so many difficult things, but I think a lot of people will appreciate that this particular year has been the most difficult, as he said. And this interview, it wasn't very long. He didn't really give too much away, but just sort of gave us enough that we felt that little bit of connection. It was so nice to hear from him and just hear his his personal experience. Really, in a way, he's opening up and saying, this is the hardest year of my life, acknowledging how difficult it's been for them as a family, but they're all still trying to keep calm and carry on at the same time.
That's the motto, keep calm, carry on. But he had to pick up a lot of pieces, stepping in for his father, doing dad duty while also, being the Prince of Wales. It's probably a lot on his shoulders, and I'm sure he's probably happy that they're returning to somewhat of normalcy, planning trips for next year. And I know we recently spoke to author Robert Hardman about how the Princess of Wales may feel about going back to work. Take a look. How do you feel like she is approaching her work now?
Well, I think she's being very realistic. So I don't. She wouldn't sort of say I'm cancer-free so much as my chemotherapy treatment is over. She talks about having been through a very rough time. She doesn't, hasn't made any pretense it's been anything other than a very difficult year. But I think there's a sort of sense of practical optimism. She talks about taking every day as it comes. And first and foremost are the children, and then around that she's going to resume sort of working. But I think we're going to have to get used to not knowing what she's doing until fairly last minute, because I think that's just the nature of this disease.
Sure. Do you feel like she we don't know how she feels, but that she's, kind of seems the same, Kate, or does she seem a little different to you?
I think, yeah, I mean, she's very much the same in the sense she's sort of upbeat, this sort of vivacious, youthful, dynamic princess. But at the same time, I think we're all conscious, and she's certainly conscious, that she mustn't, overstress herself. She's got to be. She's got to be practical. She's got to listen to sort of medical advice. And, of course, everyone would love everything just to go back to normal and pretend this is a chapter, now it's over, let's move on. But it doesn't really work like that. So I think, she's encouraging us and everyone around her to be realistic.
Yes.